Imagine being a black man in a very respectable position in black society. And typically these are occupations like pastors, doctors, pharmacists, teachers, lawyers, firefighters, and of course, one of my favorites, police officers. Now, I don't really like the police, but again, the police officer is a great position in society because they are supposed to protect and serve. And the black community has a love-hate relationship with police officers, especially black ones. But now if you're in a city that is really black dominated, and again, we know the black cities in America, cities like Atlanta, Georgia, cities like Baltimore, cities like Cleveland, but in Jackson, Mississippi, which is the largest population of African Americans. But one of the best black cities historically in the Union is Detroit, Michigan. Now, Detroit, Michigan is the heart and soul of some parts of the black church, Motown. It has its own sound. And so a lot of blacks immigrated or migrated to Detroit back in the Great Migration. And because of that relationship, a lot of blacks historically have done well in Detroit. And we know that Detroit's on a comeback mission. And so one of the most prestigious positions in the public sector there would be the police commissioner. And that was held by Mr. Brian Ferguson. He's a middle-aged man. He is married. He has a beautiful wife and a family. And of course, as it appears to me, on his way out to retirement in a few years. And he's highly respected in society. There is only one problem. Our brother got caught up allegedly. Booty clapping sounds. Yeah, let's play that clip.
Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack joins us tonight on The Edge with the details. Jessica.
Roop and Taryn, apparently he asked undercover Wayne County Sheriff's deputies if they could help him out and made sure to give them his title. Unfortunately, he'll now have to plead his case in front of a judge, slapped with a ticket for indecent and obscene conduct.
Was he caught like in the act, as they say?
From my information, when they came upon his vehicle, he was having a sex act conducted on him.
Vacant lots, overgrown bush here on Detroit's west side. A parked truck Wednesday morning. Inside, a known prostitute with her head allegedly in the lap of this man, Brian Ferguson.
At that time, Mr. Brian Ferguson stepped out, identified himself as a Detroit police commissioner.
Captain Jason Bates says undercover Wayne County Sheriff's deputies approached the truck parked on a side street near Schaefer and Schoolcraft. When they did, the sex worker jumped out.
Obviously, it was blatant. It's, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's light out.
After introducing himself, title and all, Detroit Board of Police Commissioner Ferguson asked deputies if they could help him out. The name drop did not work.
A title or position doesn't make him above the law.
Now, Brian was elected to keep an eye on the conduct of Detroit police officers, keeping tabs on things like abuse of power and soliciting prostitutes.
We get people from all walks of life. You would be surprised.
He told media outlets Wednesday it was all a misunderstanding, and the woman unexpectedly jumped in his truck. He was trying to kick her out. Ferguson was cited for indecent and obscene conduct, and his truck was towed. It's what Captain Bates' team does day in and day out countywide. He says it's a quality of life issue.
What if it was on the end of your block? If your family, your spouse, your kids were seeing that type of activity in your neighborhood, would it bother you?
We received a statement from Ferguson a short time ago. It says in part, today multiple media outlets released information alleging indecent conduct this morning. The allegation is untrue and the situation a big misunderstanding. I do not want this personal matter to become a distraction from the important oversight work this board has to do. For that reason, I am making the decision to step back from the board meetings for a time. Now, before all of this, Ferguson had a pretty sterling reputation, a veteran Little League coach, and sat on several neighborhood improvement committees, and of course his current position, which he still holds. There is a Detroit Police Board of Commissioners meeting tomorrow night, but as you just heard, Ferguson will be absent. Taryn?
Well, Jessica, certainly this is going to be a lot of work probably. because it doesn't really look good. And we're talking about where it happened, an area known for prostitution, the time of day. Certainly, he's going to have a hard case to prove.
And from my understanding, the deputies, those undercover guys that we were talking about, Ferguson made no attempt to explain this all away by saying it was a misunderstanding. As far as I heard it, he said, "Can you guys help me out?" indicating that maybe something nefarious was going on in there.
So, as it appears, Mr. Ferguson literally got caught with his pants down. And he was doing it early in the morning at 7:15 in the morning. Now, something like this, I would expect from a young man, 20, 30, mid 30s, definitely not in his 40s. But hell, Mr. Ferguson did not care about getting some, below Jeezys on his wee-wee in broad daylight. And then he felt because he was the police commissioner that somebody wasn't going to tell. But of course, you always got that one guy who's going to tell. And that sounds like the white guy that was in that news clip. And my question was, bro, was it worth it? Like, you couldn't go to the bathroom, maybe get yours off? But no, you want to go ahead and risk your whole entire job, your whole entire pension, pretty much your whole reputation and your wife's reputation on something that you could have did when you got off of work. And it wasn't worth it. And a lot of guys got to understand a lot of things that we are thinking about doing just ain't worth it. Especially when you're a man, a black man at that, with a respectable job in society. A lot of things that brothers do, it just ain't worth it. But of course, I guess she must have been thick or something like that. But let's go on to the next clip.
She was sore for a few days. I could see that happening. Did you see that happened? If you watched it, you would understand. Then I actually was nice. I was actually nice. I was kind of like, I was gentle out there in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I could have ramshacked the whole situation, but I took it nice, You get a regular glaze for 7 years, and then you get mine, you can do some damage with that. So you gotta pump the brakes sometimes. You gotta pump the brakes. Everybody wanted me to go in there with the glizzy destruction, but I didn't. I didn't hit him with a level 8 of 10 glizzy destruction. I hit it with like a 5.5, 5.5. I'm saying, but if we shoot again, I might hit it with a 7.5 because I got to one up what I did the last time. Right out of, I told you a 9. Huh? You couldn't give it the whole thing. You had to give it a little bit. No, I had to be gentle. I couldn't. She ain't had no MGH She having the same blizzard for 7 years. It's regular. Then she get mine, which is like 2 of what she been used to. I couldn't just destroy her like that. It's not fair. Yeah, it's rude. Don't lose it. Let me know how the ribs go.
So guys, that's Mr. Jason Love. And Jason Love right there is pretty much taunting Adam 22. He's there. He's looking, he got the shirt off. He's got all the jewelry on. He's looking like a rapper. And then again, what he's bragging about is the fact that he has a large phallus. And, the lady, which is Adam 22's wife, she couldn't take all of that. And, pretty much she wasn't used to somebody as big as him. And of course, these are typical Negro talking points from black men. That's what we like. We like to look good, stylish. We like to talk about how big our D is and what kind of woman we took from somebody else. When you don't even realize that same white guy is monetizing you. How many times have we had to tell you that the way that a lot of white men think is this? Listen, if white men were threatened by black men sleeping with their white women, it wouldn't be legal. So the reason why interracial dating is legal is because they allow it. If they didn't want you to do it, it would be against the law. That's why a lot of black men who are not Muslim cannot just go to like Dubai and marry an Emirati or go to Saudi Arabia. Like, there's strict laws on that, right? You just can't go to those countries and just freely start messing with their women, not without conflict or even dying yourself. But the reality is, and a lot of guys got to understand this, you're talking about how good you slept with somebody of another race, how big your stuff was, how you had to go easy, and you think that's cool. But who you're talking about is the person who owns everything, even the industry that you're in. That person's the owner. So that person doesn't care that you're sleeping with his wife, because that person has millions of dollars of money that's being created in the community that you're owning, or you should be owning. But what you care about is having a big penis and sleeping with some white lady who all she would do is do that with you, but she's not going to do anything else for you. Because again, we don't want to do the work. A lot of brothers, right? We feel like it's real cool to be able to take somebody's wife, let's sleep with her, especially if she's white or something like that, because hey, I'm a screw her and send her back to you. But then when you look at who owns something in the community, it's never you. You don't own anything. But the guy who you're talking about, who you might have, let's say a large or whatever, then he has millions of dollars of investment and revenue coming from the people that look like you. And all you care about is talking about sex. And that's the issue. Whenever black men talk about their masculinity, it's always associated with penis, athleticism, and charisma. It's never associated with work ethic, good morals, treating people the right way, any of the other characteristics that actually get you through life. Because you cannot screw your way to the top. You cannot be a charismatic person all the way to the top. What needs to happen to go to the top is you have to have a certain level of productivity. That's something that a lot of black men don't want to deal with. Black men want to deal with everything else but that. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back with another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.